To God be the glory and praise. I would like to share my testimony number 11 that I encountered unknown entity. Others call them shape shifter. Philippines call them aswang or manananggal. So let me just start my testimony with a Bible verse, Ephesians 6 verse 12, which states that our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. And so we know that we are seeing a lot of some stuff that are unexplainable. But let me just tell you my testimony about my several experience regarding this. And not only me, a lot of people who actually witness these things in the Philippines and even outside the country. But you know, it's so hard to be explaining if you don't know the words of God. And I later realized that they are actually present even before. So we will start with the fiesta that I have, which is part two. That night with the fiesta, we were walking in the dark, passing by the grasses and trees, tall trees around. It was dark. All of us suddenly felt this eerie feeling in the air that, the air was so cold, something different. Then all of a sudden, this huge thing just flew on top of us like a very, very huge bird. But it seems like bigger than bird, and the wings probably so huge, but we see this dark thing just flew on top of us that bring us so much wind. And the people, the natives in there said it was aswang. And so we all went back home, and as we went back in the house of that friend of mine, we were all sleeping in the living room, and we know that the floor was actually made of bamboo. And so we were like so scared, keeping an eye on the roof, the window, the floor, and the door, because we are so scared that they always say that when you are new to the place, this aswang actually come to visit to look for somebody to devour, to eat. So this is like reminding me again of my experience with Manananggal. So this experience shows us that we are not just the real, human being that are living here on earth. Remember, during the time of Noah, Nephilim also lives, the children of the fallen angels with human, and they are so wicked that they eat human beings. So people believe in the Philippines putting garlic and oil to scare them away. And also this bamboo with sharp edges or rattan that they're scared of, and even sharpening the knife, they said that will keep them away, or may even salt. Salt is actually what they said when you see these shape shifting people, they naturally live like a real human in the morning. And then when they are actually on time to look for food to eat, their body separates. So their bellies cut off, and people are putting um, salt on the body, on the leg area that was left. Usually they leave this on grassy field or on banana area, banana trees area. They leave the body in there because it looked like a trunk, when it's dark. And so the upper part of the body flew, and then they go back. So it might probably be, oh, it's just a folklore, or it's just a myth. But there's a multitude of witnesses to prove this is true. And I have several experience to share, in this channel. So this is probably the right time. I remember my mom was playing mahjong that night. So she is there at the neighbor's house. They usually play until night, until early morning. That's how my mom was so addicted playing with this game. My dad was in the headquarters because it was red alert. So my uncle, who was teenager during that time, was with us watching me and my two siblings who are still babies, and they were actually in the hammock. We're swinging them, he's swinging them while they're sleeping. And you see what, during those times, my mom my grandfather, my auntie, my uncles, my neighbors, they were so addicted, gambling with this mahjong. And so they played. Sometimes they played for like, uh, I don't know. My mom will just go home and sleep for a few hours and then go back and play again. So, but that night, it was so creepy. Everyone in the neighborhood, you know, are in alert because of the aswang and shapeshifters attack in the house and killing babies. And it was the talk of the place. But people who are gamblers, they just don't get bothered about it because they said, oh, it's not true. They don't believe about it, right? And so, anyway, they just keep on doing their gambling stuff. And so there's pregnant women that are actually, it's talk of the town. There's pregnant women, the belly was whacked open and the baby is gone. And there are babies that are found dead by the mom in the swing hammock that they made because there's holes on the neck, and then the baby is already out, like blue black already. There's no blood in them anymore and they're dead. And so there's also experiences that were talked in there that the tongue of that entity actually just go stretch down and go to the belly of a pregnant woman or the baby, and they cannot move, they cannot scream. So those are the talk in the town. So one day, one night when we were like watching our siblings, we were like so scared because all of a sudden we heard this huge, like, flapping of wings, like not just a regular bird, but really a huge sounding flap, and of a strong bird. And then all of a sudden it just dropped, like landed on our roof. And our roof is made of coconut leaves, right? And so you can really hear the sound, and you know we have this wooden house. And so we were so scared that my uncle, holding the 45 gun that was left by my dad to shoot if we see this entity, it shakes the house. But then my uncle was holding it and waiting for that entity to go in and then get ready. But his hand, I can see he was like shaking. And he got this bamboo stick, the small bamboo or a cut bamboo with the sharp edges, to poke that entity if in case to kill, because they said they will die with that. You really have to strike it in the heart, just like the vampire kind. And so I was holding a stick also that was sharp, because I was like in elementary age. So I'm the eldest to protect my sibling as well. So we were like so scared. And then all of a sudden, and we also have that garlic to scare them, just like what the people said. So I vividly remember when she opened the roof like a book, like she just tore it open like this, because it looks like that, right? So she just tore it open, tore the other open, but there's like a gap in between that she is trying to rip it apart. And it was only tied by this rattan, like a thin kind of like thin kind of, it's not wood but part of this rattan stick, so it's so strong. It was really tied on every wood to connect the roof. And so she really ripped it open, and I vividly see the face. It's a woman. The hair are all like up like this, like scattered. The eyes was so red, and you can see the mouth was like open. The teeth are not single line like this. There's like several, you can see, and there's all like sharp. And her saliva, you can see, like oh, her saliva is like she's really ready to eat. So probably she can sense and smell that there's two babies in the hammock there. And so she was like, oh my goodness. And then you can see the eyes, and she's making a loud noise. It's creepy kind, yeah, like something like that kind of sound. And so we were like so scared, and I was like telling my uncle to shoot and to shoot. And out of fear, he can't even he can even pull the trigger. He was so scared, and he grabbed his thing to actually poke it, and I was doing the same thing. But the thing was like, we call them manananggal, because I didn't see any legs or anything. I can only see the body parts, the body, she still had like a blouse on top, but I can only see the body, like the part of the body only, with the wings. I can see the wings, like wings of a bat, like black. And then she's trying to put her face on that hole that she's trying to rip apart. I can see her clearly. We can see her clearly because of the moon. It was like full moon that time, that it was so bright and we have light inside the house. And so we were so scared that we were like screaming and then hitting her, hitting her to go away, to go away. And then all of a sudden my uncle grabbed this knife and the sharpener because they said they were scared of it. So he started to sharpen it to scare her away. The more she was like so mad and making loud noise. And so I'm still like poking and poking her, like hitting her with this sharp bamboo, with sharp edge bamboo. And then all of a sudden we saw her, we saw her left. And I didn't know why she left. We thought she was so scared of what we're doing, but only to find out the next day that my cousin, they live behind our house. He actually left the house that night. Nobody should be leaving out at night. He left that night to go to my grandfather's house, which is in front of us. He was like running, and then all of a sudden, this thing, he said, it's a half-bodied woman with a wing, actually just flew to catch him. But then he was able to duck down, and she misses him. And so he was like hiding because the manananggal flew. He started just, he hide, right? But then he started to run. He didn't wait until it goes back. He ran close. He ran to my grandfather's house, and he was able to tell that story the next day, because we were like telling our story to my dad, to my mom. My dad was so mad because my mom was still there gambling, right? And so the story started to come up. And so my dad said, because of this incident, we're not going to sleep in our house anymore. We're going to sleep at my grandfather's house together with my aunt and uncle and their children who live behind us. They're the last house, on our right side. There's another house on our left side that was later built. But we were like the last house, and it's all swampy area and fish pond at the back. And so we all moved the next day to my mom's house since my dad can't go home. But there's a lot of guys in the neighborhood. They do patrol. They patrol the area at night because of this entity, because of so many babies that were said dead. And we don't want that to happen again. So we were all scared. We slept in our grandfather's house. The bedrooms were occupied, and actually three families were sleeping in the entire living room. We just laid a mat there, and we all slept there. And so at 5 o'clock we all eat, and then go there in go there in the morning, go there, go home in our house in the morning, and then go back at night there at 5 o'clock before it gets dark. So let me just continue the next one because I'm recording this. So the next one, that morning, so everybody was like talking about it, right? And so we were like seated at the front of my grandfather's house facing the road, that there's only like one small road to go to my grandfather's house, and there's like a road, like a little walkway on the side to go to our house and to my uncle's house next to us. And so we were all seated there. There's a lady neighbor beside us who was pregnant. And there's a lot of kids were playing at the front. And then the other adults were actually watching the little kids because of this scenario. So the adults were watching. And then all of a sudden, we saw this elderly lady walking to go to the place. Very old one. She even had like something like like a cane and like bending like this. And she's new to the neighborhood. So she was like asking something, and everybody was like watching because we're already aware. The neighborhood, the guys who are doing patrol, they're actually trying to figure out who is this as one in the neighborhood. So so when this old lady came and approached, we were like thinking, oh, this is new. So all the kids were like running away because we're scared. And then this old lady approached this pregnant woman that was sitting down, and she was like looking at the belly area, talking to the lady about the belly area. And the baby inside, how will she be able to see the baby? And then she left. I think she touched or something the belly, and then the lady started to sweat. She was sweating, and then the belly was in pain that particular day. But the old woman actually walked already. So that was already the alarm that she just touched her, and then she was now in pain. So she went back home, and that night, I tell you, brothers and sisters, she also have a sister who was pregnant. So they slept in one living room together with the sister and the parents. And so the elder people, the guys, actually go out at night holding their guns, their stick. They have the machete and all the things that they do. They patrol the area. They go around the neighborhood to keep an eye. And so this pregnant woman went home. She was starting to be in pain. And then all of a sudden, they said, there's a cat that went in the house. They were in the mosquito net with her sister that was pregnant. There's a cat that went in. And then she was like seeing it that the cat changed into a big dog and then turned to be a human being and went inside the mosquito net. And she can't move, she can't scream. And so that guy, that person, I think it's a boy or a girl, I don't know, shape shifting, became a human being, went into there, and then she said the tongue suddenly just turned so long that will go into her tummy. She tried to scream, but she cannot move, and she was like paralyzed. All of a sudden, the mom opened the door to go in and saw this entity inside the mosquito net. And so she screamed, the person, it's already in the mosquito net. So the mom screamed, and as she screamed, that person turned and saw the mom and turn into a huge, huge dog and run outside the house and turn into cat. And so all the people who were the guys who were patrolling, because they started to scream, and the pregnant woman started to scream. Now she can move. And so they were all screaming. Neighbors were awake. Other neighbors came to rescue the guys who were patrolling, went, to the place, and they started to chase the dog that was like spoken. And they said it jumped into the wall like a cat. It went into the roof, and they saw the cat turn into a dog, and then suddenly turned into a human being, and then flew. It has a wing, and then it just flew. And so they said, okay, that was another talk. They actually chased that thing. They even fire a gun. They even threw the bamboo thing with the sharp, and they can't even catch it. And so the next day, because everybody was like talking about that old lady who actually touched the thing, the belly, and so everybody was now on red alert because of that thing, and because of my story, because of the story of my cousin, and because of that pregnant woman. And now they have an evidence of that elderly woman. So the neighbors were like talking, who is the older lady in this neighborhood? So they started to search until somebody said, oh, there's a new lady that moved in the neighborhood, and she lives in this area close to the balloon. The balloon is actually a tunnel made by the Japanese before, that comes out like a spring with the salty water, which I'm going to tell you a story about that in the future. And so she lived close to that area. There's a house there, and there's a basketball court beside it as well. And so everybody went in their house that morning, together with the barangay people, like the little mayor in the community, with all the guys, with all the armies, because the husband of the girl, the pregnant woman, was also army, and the others went in there all together. So they went to the house, only to find out the elderly lady was not there anymore. The neighbor said she don't usually go out. She only go out in the afternoon or night. They asked the neighbors that were living close to that house. And so when they opened the house, they were so shocked. The smell was so terrible, stinky, so, so stinky. And the wall was covered with black curtain. And the area was like, they said it's like dead person really in there. The smell, you can really throw up with the smell. But the old lady was gone. You see, brothers and sisters, other people might say, oh, this is just a folklore or a myth, it's not true. But remember, brothers and sisters, in Genesis 6, verse 4, NCV version, the Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also later, that was when the sons of God had sexual relation with the daughters of human beings. These women gave birth to children who became famous and were the mighty warriors of long ago. And that's why these people, they don't die. They said they eat, family members of these people in the Philippines, they were like talking about it. They said they age like 100, like 200, 200, but they look so young still. And sometimes, um, let me just change the 200, 100 plus. I will just say like that. And then they look so young. That's why they eat human being, because when they eat and drink the blood, they're actually getting younger. I was even so amazed when my mom bring me to this old lady. She's like a quack doctor, and I think she's one of them. And then she's doing like a healer kind. And my mom said she was like healing the young kids, and she's already old when I was still a baby, and I already have children. She's still like old, but she looks so young. She even told me that she can visit her children that lives in the United States fast. How is she going to do that? And she just smiled at me because, because they can, they said they can fly. And I don't know, I was so young. I don't understand about that. We knew about it, but we go there, which we rebuke for healing. And so that's why, brothers and sisters, listen to this. Okay, there were more detail described when the book of Enoch, they spoke details about these people. Others might say it's impossible, but others might say, you know, they're true because they had an experience. But why do you hear about unicorn, sirens, giant, dwarfs, vampires, shapeshifters, alien demons that the world tried to deny, even though they have a lot of archaeological evidences about it? And a lot of people who witness about this, and a lot of evidences now because of the CCTV camera, but they're trying to remove it because they don't want people to know that the Bible is true and the Bible speaks about them. So anything about them that the work of the devil, the the evil one, and their children, they cover it up. But you see, God will reveal things in its proper time. Nephilim is present during the time of Noah, and even after that, the Lord said in Matthew 24:37 to 39, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also be the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that they were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also be the coming of the Son of Man be. So it's like trying to tell us, brothers and sisters, before Jesus comes, they're already going to be in here. They will be appearing, they will just be so active. They will just go out. The vampires will be there, all these shapeshifters, they will be activated. Why? Because just like what the Lord said, it will just be like the time of Noah. And when Jesus comes, they will be gone because the Lord's going to fight with them. They will be they will be thrown into the pits of hell, and they will be burned by the fire that comes out of the mouth of Jesus Christ. The book of Enoch, particularly the book of Watchers, describes fallen angels, also known as Watchers or the sons of God, who interbreed with human women, resulting in the birth of giants or the Nephilim. This is why we have giants, we have skinwalkers, we have sirens, the sirens that uh, the book of Enoch was like saying, these This actually happened to the woman who made love to these fallen angels, the demon aliens, the aswang, the vampire, the manananggal, the capre, the whatever they're calling, that sometimes they see in the forest, but others nobody can see. These are the hybrids. They're demonic. Others are half humans and animals. The question is, will that be possible? Half humans and animals? Remember, they have that horse with the other half human, and we have this manananggal. They have the wings. We have this vampire, and all these things. You see, Satan wants to copy God, right? He does it to show his wicked power, and he still can't overpass God's creation. So in Ezekiel 1:10 to 12, which describes the vision of the four living creature, each having four faces, man, lion, ox, and eagle, and four wings. And Ezekiel 1:18 to 20 describes their wheels and movement, that there's a lot of eyes on the wheels. God has his own creation. He actually created a living creature in the throne of God, wherein the face is like a man, the other one's lion, the other one's ox, the other one's eagle, and the body, they have wings, and the body is covered with eyes. So that's the creation of God, but they are holy. They are holy. Satan created unholy children who kills and drinks blood of human that the Lord forbids, because there's life in the blood. They want to extend their life. Let us be careful and be aware of what's going on in the world. Not all people living in this world are children of God or created by God. We know we have robots, clones, and other children of the devil. But God clearly said, "Fear not, for I am with you. Do not dismay, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." So that's why we're not supposed to be scared of them. This is the deception that a lot of people and celebrities are doing in this last generation. They're doing the same thing. They're drinking the blood and injecting human baby cells to make them younger. Brothers and sisters, they've been eating human meat. People are saying they've been practicing it. Other people, they're actually soaking themselves in blood to look young. They're injecting on their face and body so that they will be young. They're doing like a Korean baby DNA and skin to look young. But brothers and sisters, the Lord created us to be a baby, to be adult, to be old, and they will pass away. Our days are numbered. Don't do things that will defile yourself because you wanted to remain young forever. Why the demons wanted to have a body? Why do they wanted to remain alive forever? Because they don't have bodies. Because they are punished. They are spiritual beings, demonic beings, and now they're making clones so that they have a host. They're actually deceiving people so they will have body. And now also they're deceiving people to do the same thing, to drink the blood so they will be younger, but they don't know they're defiling themselves, and they could be with the devil forever, and we don't want to be a part of that. So brothers and sisters, be ready, always repent, be aware. And that's why we need to be watchful of the places we go, the people that we go with, because we don't know if they are real humans or not. Because I have several experience that I might probably be sharing in this channel next time. I'm recording this not live because my video is being cut. So brothers and sisters, to God be the glory and praise. If God created us, the demons are also real, but we have Christ in us. So no weapon that is formed against us shall prosper. Pray and fast that we will be counted worthy to escape. God bless you in Yeshua's mighty name. Amen.